Greetings from the crib. It's Ash Matthews coming at you with a music review from the artist in Indianapolis known as Aares and his new project, Stop Drinking 4lokos. Now, Stop Drinking 4lokos, I've talked to him and he's announced it at shows. If you don't know, if you're wondering why it's called Stop Drinking 4lokos, it's basically like, hey, stop doing stupid shit. Like, we all know 4lokos are bad for you. We all know they're garbage and you shouldn't drink them. So he's saying, hey, stop drinking 4lokos, stop doing dumb shit around me. Anyway, the project has some really great features on it, like Goose, Distinct, Really Victoria, Sean Don, and I know James Otha helped out with some production, and Orange Beanie and Doe Slim. So the whole thing is full of bangers. Like, we all know, if you don't know, now you know that Aries is like the hook god. All of his hooks are so catchy that it's hard not to instantly be drawn in and want to sing along and jam out to the songs. So the project starts off with a track called Question, which of course this entire project's produced by Aries. So starts off with Question. It's got a slick beat and a hook that's super infectious, and it's a great track that sets the tone for the rest of the project. And it really just it sets the vibe with the banging bass and just his type of delivery, which to me is very unique. Then it goes into Ghostface with Sean Don, and this is a track that James Otha helped with production on, and the collab between them is nasty. That beat is nasty. Um, the the mix is a bit busy with ad libs and delays in the background, but that's easily overshadowed with another great hook and a really nice feature from Sean Don. This track definitely has a bunch of replay value. I've seen him perform it live. It's great. That one's a banger for sure. Then it goes into Christmas, which is just another banger. They just don't stop on this project. The vocal mix is a bit dirty and distorted, but that's easy to overlook it because Aries' delivery is so catchy and his hook is so catchy. And um, Really Victoria's feature is amazing. She spits hard on it. There was a bit coming from the audio engineer side of me. There was a bit too much high end in Ridley's voice, and the like a lot of his ad libs are panned way left. It's really interesting. But I mean that's a creative decision. That's not really like a technical thing, but it's pretty dope. The next track wins. The next track wins kind of blows my mind because this to me is more of like a radio hit. It's more of a single. It's got this hook from Goose that is just incredible and just like radio ready, and you instantly just feel the vibe and want to sing along to it. But Aries' delivery on top of his own production is so perfect. Like, there's something about him producing his own stuff that he knows exactly how he wants it to sound, and he can do such interesting and fun and catchy things with his delivery that just make his music stand out. Um, Also, I don't know what he does. I don't know what he's doing, but whatever Aries does with his bass makes that shit bang. I love it. Distinct's feature was a flavor that added a nice contrast to Aries and Goose's hook. It's one of my favorite. It's in my probably top two or top three um, songs on this project. Definitely, I'm not usually a big fan of the slowdown thing at the end of songs, but on this track, it felt kind of right, and especially when they threw in a bit of the hook in that slowdown, sounded really good, and it rounded it out really nicely. Then we go on to Kick It, and this is where the project kind of slows down and chills out. It's got a completely different style in terms of delivery and beat and even lyrical content. The beat is a little bit closer to boom bap with like a simpler sounding kit, and it seems sample driven. And Aries' delivery is more straightforward, and his writing is more lyrical, and there's a subject matter, and he's more relaxed rather than the more hype, crazy, turn up type of stuff on the rest of the project. The Really Victoria touch on the hook fit perfectly, and I think really added to that track. Um, I like the track a lot, but I'm so used to the turn up vibe of the rest of the album that I could find myself skipping this track if I'm listening through, or even if I have this album on shuffle, just because the vibe has been set to like jam out and bang out and turn up, that it when it goes down to this one, I don't want to be, I'm losing that momentum from being turned up. But with that said, it's still a great song, and thrown in to another playlist, or if I'm in the right mood, I would love to come back to this song. But in the context of the album, it slows down. I mean, where it's placed is pretty good to come after Winds, because Wind kind of chills out a little bit and then goes in to kick it. So it works in its place in the album, but it's not the compared to the rest of the album. I would skip it if I'm in the mood to turn up like the rest of the album does. But then after Kick It comes honestly easily my favorite track on the entire project, and that's Pretty, featuring Orange Beanie. And if you haven't noticed by this time in the track list, Aries has the most hilarious intros. He always says some off the wall shit. Like in this one, he says that he's allergic, something about being allergic to cocker spaniels, and it's just really off the wall and goofy, coming out of left field, and you'll hear that in the intro to almost every track. He says some off the wall shit, but the hook on this track is incredible. It's impossible for me not to turn this up and start jamming out to it. The Johnny Bravo inspired track is easily has the coolest hook and the coolest vibe to it. The beat is a little bit different and really stands out to me. Aries' delivery is so unique and fun. And then in the hook, there's an ad lib that's the Johnny Bravo hoo ha hoo. And every time it gets me every time. I love this song so much, and I could put it on repeat for hours and just keep going back to back. But then after Pretty, we go into Suicide, featuring Doe Slim, and we take a bit of a darker turn. Pretty was a little bit more like happy and fun and turn it up, and then Suicide is still a bit of a banger, but it's got more of a dark sound, and even the lyrical content is a bit more um, malevolent, more dark, more gruesome. Doe Slim did his thing on the feature, keeping the vibe. His voice fit very well on the track, though his delivery kind of left me wanting more. I felt like if you're gonna be on a track with Aries, you gotta match his energy and his craziness. And although I liked his voice and what he did fit, it didn't quite match the energy. So when Aries came back in, I felt myself rise back up and get more into it. Now this is the third track. By this time in the project, this is the third track that does the slowdown thing at the end, which in my opinion is a bit too much, too many times, considering there's only 8 songs. Which means the next one is the last one. It's called Roofie. This one's a bit slower and less chaotic, but he kind of just rounds the project out with a bit of a chill banger. This track doesn't want to make you go crazy like the other ones do, but you do nod your head along with it and really enjoy it. So I think it was a really good choice for the outro track. Um, I think that he really kind of uh, structured the project in a very wise manner in terms of what song should go when, because it kind of flows very well. The beginning and ending like ramp up and down respectively in a really nice way, and you kind of have like almost every other song. It kind of goes up and down. Where like banging awesome, a little bit more chill, banging awesome, a little more chill, and I don't know. He just really structured it really well. So overall, I love the project. I think it's a perfect length at 8 songs, where by the end you're wanting more, but so all the songs have such high replay value that you can go back and keep being satisfied, especially from tracks like Pretty, Winds, Ghostface, and Christmas. So besides some of the technical mixing things that stood out to me as an engineer, it's a fantastic project, and I'm definitely going to be coming back to it throughout the year, especially the songs that I just named. You should go check it out. It's Stop Drinking 4lokos by Aares. It's on all major platforms. It's on SoundCloud. It just came out yesterday. So go check him out. He's the man. He's cool. And you can link up and find more other indie artists. Anyways, thanks for stopping by the crib. Remember, don't start no shit, won't be no shit. See you on the other side.